So this video demonstrates a behaviour that I use for cooperative care. The behaviour that Marty is doing here is known as a chin rest. If you're not familiar with cooperative care training or what that means, feel free to watch the video in the link in the description just to give you an idea of what we're looking to achieve here. With the chin rest behaviour, the aim is quite simple. I would just like the dog to rest their chin on an object such as what you can see here, on my hand or on a cushion. It really depends what I'm trying to achieve with the chin rest in that moment. I will often choose to use the chin rest behaviour depending on what I need to do with my dog. So if I have a treatment that I need to apply that needs to be put into their ear, or I need to put eye drops in, maybe have a look at their mouth, I prefer if they could be as still as possible and ideally standing up. So this behaviour really creates the opportunity to achieve that. With this training, I'm basically teaching the dog that when they rest their chin in the desired position, I may then look to touch them on a certain part of their body. If they lift their chin up at all, that is a cue to me to stop putting my hand on them or to ideally move my hand away. This gives my dog plenty of opportunity to say to me, do you know what, actually, I need a minute, please could you not do that, without having to resort to any sort of aggressive behaviour or to get distressed in any way. You'll see in this clip here that when I go to touch him again, his head comes off and he actually turns his head away. I think he got slightly distracted by something that was happening in the room, but it doesn't matter. I still need to respect that his head is not in the chin rest position. The other thing that's important to consider here, just because my dog's resting their chin, which is the action that tells me to go and to start what I need to do, does not mean that I should just go ahead regardless of any body language signals that I'm seeing that suggest maybe he's a bit stressed. So if I see my dog's ears go back, maybe lip licks or anything like that, that is a cue for me to still remove my hand away. Even in this moment here, I touched his leg, but he moved his leg away. So that isn't really him giving me consent to touch his leg, so I opted to just give him a break. I slow this right down, you can actually see that Marty did do a lip lick before he moved his leg away. So again, he's not necessarily going to escalate this behaviour, but I don't want him to feel this stressed about this sort of game that we've essentially created. So it's all about the dog feeling confident to be able to ideally lift their head off when they're uncomfortable, but we do still need to respect the body language signals that they're giving us. That is their most natural way of communicating. In this next clip here, you can see that Marty's actually quite keen to get me to start the behaviours again, but I'm too busy talking. So it shows what a great game this has actually become for him. The use of Marty in this video is just to show what we're looking to achieve with this training. So as you can see here, I'm actually practicing how to do an injection for him. So it's not a real needle, it's just a syringe that I've put a toothpick on the end of. I'm not by any means going to jab that into the back of his neck. That's not how extreme this training needs to go, but it just helps to get him used to the sensation of something just sort of very gently pointing him in the back of the neck. It replicates an injection as much as possible for me to create. You will also see in the sessions with Marty here that I am still putting my hand out in front of him to give him something to focus on, but ideally I'm looking to phase that back all the time. But it really depends on your dog what they need to be able to comfortably and confidently perform this behaviour. So now you've seen what we're aiming for with teaching a chin rest, let's see how we start to teach this behaviour. So here we have the lovely Buddy who is going to demonstrate how to teach this behaviour. So the handler is in a comfortable position where he would be able to easily rest his chin onto that pillow that we've provided. And initially, we're not really doing anything. We just want to see what Buddy does. And his instincts are, let's offer some behaviours that I've already been reinforced for in the past. So he did a little spin, he's lying down. So initially through luring, we're going to start to teach Buddy what behaviour we're looking for here. This is quite a subtle thing that we're asking the dog to do, so sometimes it can take them a little while to work out that all we want them to do is to rest their chin. So Buddy now knows that there is food on offer that he could have and that it is in the handler's hand. So he's there just in the moment that we exactly wanted him to do it, he's just put his head forward to be able to basically access that food. By doing that, he is doing the behaviour that we want. His head isn't completely rested on that pillow, but that does not matter at this point. We're just starting to shape the behaviour that we want. So at this stage, anytime chin is touching pillow, we're going to mark with the word yes and reward. You can see that he's starting to get this behaviour now, and this is the very early stages of teaching a chin rest. What we're always looking to do is what are the next steps of this behaviour. So once we get a dog that can really reliably rest their chin on a pillow, and that you've been able to include a cue, the cue I use for chin rest training is literally just chin, then you're starting to head on your way to be able to add some duration to this behaviour. So here, Buddy's still trying to work out what we want, but he's had quite a few repetitions now of being rewarded for resting his head on the pillow. What we want to do is, where possible, not lure him too much. We want him to be able to make this decision on his own, but sometimes he will need a bit of extra help, a bit like there. So this is the first step in teaching a chin rest behaviour, and this is what I want you to do with your dog. And when you feel confident that the dog is able to respond to the word chin and the action of resting their chin happens, we can move on to the next step. Start this training at home where your dog is nice and relaxed and there are minimal distractions. Initially, you may find it easier to start this training using the method of having a pillow on your lap, but it really depends on the size of your dog and how easy that is going to be to replicate. If you have any questions, feel free to get in touch with me. I'm happy to help any way I can.